The RHCSA exam expects that you know how to configure a server to host virtual machines. In our previous video, we showed you what group packages to install and what services to enable. In our next few videos, we will show you how to manage guests on a host system. We have a RHEL 6 guest installed on our host system here, so we are going to show you how to manage this guest from the virsh command line toolset. Let's start off by running the virsh command to jump into the virtualization shell. We can get a quick listing of the hypervisor's details with the node info command. The output tells us our CPU and RAM information. To view a listing of guests that are currently on the hypervisor, run the following. The output shows us the guest ID, the name of the guest, and its current state. We can see that we have a RHEL 6 VM and it is currently running. We can even shut down a running guest with the following. If you notice, instead of the word guest, we see the word domain. In the virsh terminal, each guest is known as a domain. You will often find either one of those words when working with virtualization, but they are interchangeable terms. Let's take another look at our guest status. And now we can see that our guest is shut off. To start the guest back up, run the following. And we can check our status again. And even though it is booting up, the state says that it is running. Now, if you have a guest that will not shut down and you believe that it has gotten hung up, you can run the following command. This command doesn't delete your guest, but instead just shuts it down. Do not use this unless you absolutely have to, as this command is essentially the same as pulling the plug on this guest, causing it to shut off ungracefully. You could potentially lose data on your guest with this method. If you want to see some extra details on your guest, just run the dome info command followed by the name of the guest. Here we can see the state of the system, the guest assigned RAM and CPU information, and a couple of other interesting facts. The first is the SC Linux security label. As you can see, the guest has a label of svert_t. This security context is for the actual virtual machine process itself, and each one is unique. The other interesting field is the auto start section. The auto start field grants the ability for a guest to start up automatically after the host system boots up. Currently, our RHEL 6 guest is not set up to auto start. We can change that with the following command. Now our guest will start up after the host boots up. To turn this feature off, just run the following. To see a complete listing of the commands that you can use in the virsh terminal, just run help. As you can see, there are quite a lot of commands available. To leave the virsh terminal, just type exit. We stated before that KVM runs guest virtual machines as a Linux process. Here is what that looks like. Just be sure to not stop the process directly from here. Use either the guest's built-in shutdown routines or the virsh terminal's shutdown command. In our next video, we will work with Virt Manager to show you how to perform the same task using the graphical tool that we just demonstrated here. We will also install a RHEL guest using this tool.